Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Arslan, and you are watching Proper Tech Tutorial. So welcome back to the series of learning Siemens NX from beginner to pro. And today we'll be starting the part 36. That is, remember assembly constraint. How do we use that, and uh, how do we use that basically? How to remember the constraint tool and where it can be used and where it cannot be used. That is something that is important to remember. So first of all, what we'll do is that I'll just delete this, I'll delete this also, and now it is okay. Okay, so now what we have is that till the previous lecture we have gone through the following things, and I just want to use the remember assembly constraint over here. So if you see that if I use the remember assembly constraint using the constraints that are the advanced assembly constraints, it will not be able to select those constraints. For example, this particular part has the constraint as that of the I think the constraint has been deleted, so no problem. This has the constraint, but this has a coupler, or what you can do is that, yeah, this has the constraint. So what you can see is that it has the constraint, piston has the constraint as that of the with respect to that of the cylinder. So what I'll do, I'll just click the component of the piston. I'll try to select this constraint, but you see that I am unable to select the constraint. The reason for this is that these constraints lie in the part of the advanced assembly constraints and cannot be used in the remember assembly constraint. So what we have to do, the only thing which we have to do is that I'll just copy this particular part and I'll show you that how it can be actually used. So I'll just add component, I'll click over here and I will make two copies. This, so it should be like this, and I'll click on apply, then cancel. Now I will do the assembly constraint part. First of all, I will fix this cylinder. Okay, already fixed, no problem. Then it is well and good. And then I can either use the infer center axis or I can use the align and log. So I'll just use the align and log, fast forward, and it has now done the job. Now if you try to see the degrees of freedom this particular piston has, it only has a translational or a linear degree of freedom that is in the x-axis. So if I try to use this particular cylinder and I try to copy the same constraints to other part also, what I can do is that I just have to use the remember assembly constraint part. You can also fully constrain this piston before applying the remember constraint part. That is all up to you. So I wish to do it as of now, or what I can do is that I should constrain that will be much better. So I'll just use the align, I'll use this and use this, and now it is okay. And now you see that it is perfectly constrained, and this is fixed. So these two are good to go. Now remember assembly constraints, and you select the component. So this component and these constraints to be remembered are the assembly constraint, that is align, and the assembly constraint, that is align and log, and you will click on apply. So you see that we were not able to select the advanced assembly constraints, but now we can select the basic assembly constraints. So that is something which is to be remembered. You might not waste your time in case you are trying to select the advanced assembly. Now I'll click on cancel and I'll add the component again. I want to add this piston. I will create two copies. I'll select the object where I want to add it. I will just click over here and it will get oriented in the center. That will save my time, and I'll just orient it in the manner I think. Okay, now it is okay. I'll click on apply, and now I have to select the pistons. I have to redefine the constraints. To redefine the constraints for this particular align, I want to align it with this, and the align lock, I want to align it with this, and after that align piston over here, and that will be the face in the hollow cylinder, and align lock over here. I will click on OK, and now you can see that this piston, this piston are totally constrained. Not totally constrained, that is the reason that these are not fixed. Now you can see that they are totally constrained. Okay, both of the pistons are totally constrained. So this is the method of using remember constraint. You can use it with any object. You can redefine the constraints whenever you add them. So for example, if I have to add 10 hexagonal bolts and I don't want to remember the constraints every time. So one way of adding those 10 copies is that you just click on 10, you just click on 9 because one has already been added for which the remember constraint tool has been used, and then you can add 9 and just redefine the constraint and it will get in order accordingly. The second method of of uh, of adding multiple copies without redefining constraint again and again is the use of pattern in assembly, which we will be discussing in the second last and next lecture, that is part 37, pattern in assembly. So in case you have not watched our previous videos, I will recommend that you go through them, and everything has been discussed in detail, including the user interface, including the sketch, including the modeling, including the constraints, the assembly, everything. So if you want to get the basic and the 1 to 100 knowledge of every concept of Siemens NX, I will suggest you that this playlist, Learning Siemens NX from Beginner to Pro, is the best and only platform where you can learn this for free and like a pro, not some basic, like a pro. So this is something that I wanted to let you know, and soon we'll be starting the course on SolidWorks also, and before that we'll let you know how to install SolidWorks. We'll also let you know how to install other software such as Nitro PDF, MS Word, etc., etc. And I will make one more playlist that will be drafting. So drafting is both available in Siemens NX and SolidWorks. So after we complete the SolidWorks series also, I'll create the drafting part of Siemens NX and this SolidWorks. After that, I will try to create some examples of how to make that particular thing in Siemens NX and SolidWorks. That will also be done, but that will be later on. Before that, you must have the concepts, you must have the knowledge, you must have the practice within your grasp, and only then those tutorials will be beneficial. So keep practicing, keep learning, and those who do not know have Siemens NX, go to my playlist of software installation, and you will find Siemens NX how to install step by step along with the setup. It will be mentioned in the description. You can go through the steps, and readme file is also provided. So like our videos, like our channel, subscribe to our channel, share our videos in case you find them useful, and comment in case you have any suggestions. So till the next time we meet, goodbye.